or wherever you are. It may not be morning. Um, I am going to be offering videos each day this week to give you the opportunity to engage in building your practice at this time. The storm just started out here where I am out in Lithia Springs. I can hear thunder and lightning, um, and that's okay. Um, so to start off with, just take a moment wherever you are. Perhaps you're sitting. Notice that you're breathing. And notice whatever sensations there are in your body. So physical sensations, perhaps the feeling of your sit bones, perhaps the feeling of your breath. What are the sensations of inhaling? How do you know that you are inhaling? And what are the sensations of exhaling? If you notice that your jaw is closed, is it possible to have a little space between your molars? And you're going to leave that in 3, 2, 1. So that's not a start to make yourself feel something, to make yourself feel more relaxed in any way, but just a place for you to know where you're beginning from and to acknowledge where you're at. So, for example, for myself, I had a pretty good sleep, I think. Um, it's a little chilly. I'm a little chilly in this house, so I feel like I can hear some of that in my throat. But I can feel the carpet against my feet, and I can feel my heart beating in this moment. And I'm aware that there's an underlying feeling of jitteriness, and it kind of lives in my chest. I'm going to change the camera angle just a little bit. I'm sitting on a zafu, so I'm sitting on, I go down here, I'm down. So I'm sitting on a zafu, a meditation cushion. You might be sitting in a chair or on the floor. Here we go. And I'm aware that my ankles are pressing against each other and it's actually not very comfortable. So I feel like I would like to be more comfortable in this moment. And I encourage you to notice in your body, is it possible for you to be more comfortable with the way that you've arranged yourself? Great. So these are going to be about 15-minute sessions of mindfulness-based practice. I can hear my husband, he's emptying out the little catchers that we have in the sink, and I can hear him hitting it against the garbage can as he empties it out. So I'm integrating those noises into my experience here with you. And you may also be having other sounds around you that you can hear. So often we think if we're going to have a practice of mindfulness or a practice of voice skills, movement, that it needs to be in a perfect circumstance. So as if there's silence, there's no kids asking for your attention, there's no partners moving around or anything. But actually, for me, the practice is about integrating what is into your work, and whatever is is. I had one student one day, we went to the studio and they were jackhammering underneath us. And actually, it was incredibly rich to explore how to integrate the jackhammer into the work. And it became a very useful experience. Um, Not that that's how I would like to teach, ideally, and not how like that would be a way that I would want my classes to run all the time. But once in a while, when something comes up, it can actually take you out of your experience or your expectation of the way something should be and actually bring you into the moment. So before I started this video, I washed my hands, and I'm going to touch my face. You do not need to touch your face. You can leave that for another time. Or um, what I also have are these gloves, and having access to gloves, if you have some, can be very useful right now. There's a lot of concern around touching gas pumps, um, and golf carts, shopping carts. Who's golfing right now? Shopping carts. And it's not a bad idea, if you have access to gloves, to be able to use them, especially when you're out and about. Alternately, in your own home though, make sure that you're spraying down door handles, giving them a wipe, and any surfaces that you use, give them a little bit of a wipe down and then leave them. So that's your health and safety from an occupational therapist announcement for today. So you might have gloves to put on your hands, or wash your hands well for 20 seconds. Where I'm going to start is, I'm aware that with the stress that I've been feeling over the last week and a bit, that with stress, often our tongue retracts, the muscles in our face get really tight, the jaw gets really tense. And coupled with this feeling of stress and pressure can be feeling like there's no time. I don't have time for a practice, having to realize that I have to worry about my parents, and I have to worry about my family, and I have to worry about, getting food or toilet paper, right? And there's a story, it may never have happened, but a story about a great Buddhist teacher, I believe, who was asked, how long am I supposed to meditate? And he said, an hour. And this person goes, well, what if I'm busy? How long am I supposed to meditate? And he goes, 2 hours. So these little nuggets of time actually become even more essential when we're feeling stress. Okay? So I'm going to start with my face. If this is not right for you, I would like you to sit and energetically think about releasing those parts, letting the jaw drop. So I'll give you some options, okay? So first of all, I'm going to bring my fingertips to my temples, and I'm going to hook my thumb around the back of my jaw and just let the weight of my hands drag down my face, and just let my jaw release into that. And I'm going to breathe. uh, uh-huh. And after you do anything around the idea of building practice, pause and notice what is true for you in this moment. Again, it's not an end game of I'm supposed to feel a certain way, but it's rather, what am I feeling now? So something that I talk to my clients about a lot is that some people are very busy squeezing oranges and don't drink the juice. What I mean is, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I go to the gym, I take this class, I take that class, da 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 da. But they don't take the time to reflect, and they don't take the time to integrate the experience in a deep way into their own bodies and their own nervous systems. And so it becomes a situation where I have to go somewhere and someone has to tell me what to do, but I don't own or master the material, let alone own or master my own body, my own experience. So one more time, we're going to do this jaw release here. And if touching your face right now isn't available for you, then just sit and let your jaw hang. Fun fact, because I used to work on cadavers as part of my health degree, but dead bodies, their jaws are released. So it actually takes a certain amount of jaw tension or muscle tension just to hold the mouth shut. And I know that, if we walked around like this all the time, there are judgments associated with that. I live in the South, right? Mouth breather, or, oh, that person's not very well educated. But when you're building your practice in the comfort of your own home, this is the best place to give your jaw a break and to let those muscles reset a little. Just because over time, those muscles can get really, really, really held. All right, so one more time, fingertips to the temples, thumb around the back of the jaw. Lovely. And now tip your head forward and let your tongue just hang and breathe. Let the weight of your tongue passively stretch down into gravity. And I want you to stay here, and I'm going to talk you through the next few moments. So your head is still down, your tongue is hanging out passively, you're not forcing it, and you're breathing. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to lift your head up, but I want you to keep your tongue just hanging out of your mouth. So take a moment here to take another breath. And then bring your head up and let your tongue hang. And keep your tongue out. And I want you to say what you had for dinner last night. I'll put my tongue back in just so you can hear. I want you to say what you had for dinner last night. So last night for dinner, I had cabbage and zucchini and beans and rice. And then now let your tongue drop back into your mouth. And what did you have for dinner? Right. So this is a very simple way, even without touching your face, that you can think about releasing your tongue and also mitigating some of the effects of stress on the body. Checking in with your breath, letting your tongue release into gravity, which will let the tongue start to come forward. Now the next one we're gonna do is one of my favorites, and we have about 2 minutes left, and it's blubs. That's what I call them. And this is really lovely to release the face. Again, you don't have to touch yourself, and can be quite fun. I started using some of these exercises in preparation for my triathlon races because I realized that when I was really stressed out, everything was getting tight. And so I would walk up and down the beach doing this. So blubs being great. And just thinking of it being almost like a rippling massage through your face. Let's do that again. And I'm finding the desire just to move my head gently side to side. And you can do that, or you can leave your head still. One more time. Beautiful. Now this time, let's just go high to low. So pick a high tone and then blub all the way to a low tone. Beautiful. Let's go low to high. And now let's do roller coaster. So all over the map. Great. So what that helps to do is it helps to close the mouth, the air pressure starts to change, and it can actually help to release the throat a little here if you too have been noticing a little tension in this throat area. Also, it's fun and it's playful. And more than ever, it's essential to build play into your practice, finding moments of pleasure, finding moments of levity and joy. I can tell you I'm watching a lot of comedies right now. Connecting with the people in your home, finding ways to connect with your loved ones on video or on phone if you can. There's even somebody, I was looking at another voice teacher, and I can't remember where she is, but there's someone in her neighborhood who's writing jokes on the sidewalk. And I think that's so beautiful with chalk. So of course it'll wash away. But as a challenge for today, find some things that you can do that are playful. And I'm just taking my glove off because to finish up for today, I invite you to take a moment and go back to where we started, noticing that you're breathing, letting your jaw go, noticing what physical sensations are present in your body. And take a moment. And is there a part of you that would really like touch right now? And bring your own hand to that place. Notice the sensation or the weight of that contact. Maybe there's warmth. Maybe that contact causes a radiation of love or softening. And while you're here with this feeling of contact, notice the sounds that you can hear around you. And let that go in 3, 2, 1. So there's a discipline in seeking pleasure. There's a discipline in choosing to engage in practice. For my fellow teachers out there, there's a discipline in having your own practice even while you are supporting and still teaching others. And I am holding all of you in my heart. And I'm taking each day breath by breath, step by step, heartbeat by heartbeat. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.